G'day guys, Shane Mostert here. Today we are doing long exposure photography with the iPhone 13. Doesn't have to be the iPhone 13, we can do it with any iPhone. Stick around, I'm going to show you how to make some really cool artwork. If you're new here, I do 2 videos each and every week all about small sensor photography, generally in low light conditions or long exposure photos. All sorts of tutorials and gear reviews right here on this channel. So if you're into that sort of thing, hit the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed, you're a bloody legend. Today we're talking about long exposure photography and how to make some artwork that you can hang on your wall with your iPhone. Now you may have seen long exposure photos. It's generally going to be with something moving and something standing dead still. You usually see it with water and pillars, water, wharf, water, rocks, water, water, water. But where I am is in outback Australia and we don't have much of that water thing around. So we're using something different. What I'm using here today is cloud. At the moment, there's a little bit of cloud coverage and it's moving. It's fairly windy at the moment. Summer's coming, there's a few flies starting to get around. But look, the clouds are moving reasonably fast. These rock formation up the back here, it doesn't move that fast at all. And what we're doing here at the moment, right now, as I'm talking to you right now, I'm taking a 5-minute long photo, 5 minutes, right there. If your eye is keen, you can see the little phone sitting on top of the tripod, which is wrapped around the fence, on the fence post. So what you might be able to see behind me here is the tripod sitting on that post, and that rock formation that you see in the background there, that rock formation is the subject that I'm using because it's not moving. The sky, the clouds, they're moving reasonably fast, not fast enough that I can do it with a live photo, and it's well too fast to do like a 10-minute long photo. The app that we're using is Even Longer. If you don't know Even Longer, I'll link it down the bottom. Regular viewers on this channel know about this app. It does many, many things, but today we're making artwork with it. Now we'll go to Even Longer. Even Longer is this app right here. Now, there's a few things that we can change in here and a few things that, for this sort of photo, I'm going to leave it for 5 minutes. It's a 5-minute long photo. I've done some testing here already. Too short, it looked like this, and too long, you won't see any cloud. It'll just be all blurry in the sky, and we don't want that. So up the top in the top right-hand corner is the gear icon. I'll set that for 5 minutes. If you pay the premium for this app, it will save it also. You can do like 10 or 15 hours, I think it is, very long exposure photos, and it will save it in increments for you. And that's really handy for star trails and stuff, and we'll talk about that in another video. In fact, I've already done one, I'll link it up the top there. So 5 minutes is where we're at. We'll close that out of there, and I'm just going to adjust that a little. On the row down the center here, you've got the multiple times and how the different lenses, I should say. So we'll hit 3 times because that was a 3-time zoom. That's the half-time zoom, the ultra wide. I don't want to use that. I just want to use the regular 1-time zoom because that's how I compose the photo already. FA is the frame averaging, which is the long exposure, what we're using here today. Manual focus, I'm just going to change that to autofocus and just touch out there on the rocky outcrop, and that's it. I don't need to change anything else. I'm kind of happy with where that is. I'm going to hit the green for go button. Well, it's not green, but you can put a countdown timer on this so you're not touching anything, and you'll see a few things are happening right now. This is taking a photo right now, and I'm not touching anything. Tripod is a must. That's it, it's taking the photo right now. You watch me break my bloody leg coming down here or get bitten by a snake. So it's got 5 minutes, that photo. 5 minutes, now we just chill out and wait. Looking at the colors that are here, I'm probably going to turn this into a black and white photo. So while we're waiting for this photo to be taken, have a think about this. If we edit these black and white and we take a series of photos, let's say 3 of these photos at different spots around this Oroki outcrop that I'm at here, and then you can print them, hang them on the wall, and all of a sudden you've got this really cool art installation that you've taken yourself out of the phone on the camera that's in your pocket. That's pretty bloody impressive, I think. I get asked about this a little bit. This is a Mitsubishi Pajero. Yeah, if you're a Spanish speaker, it's almost done. The minutes have gone down to seconds. We're pretty close to being finished. Let's have a look. Ripper, it's exactly what I was after. Those light streaks through the sky. This is going to edit really, really well. I'll show you how to do that in just a second. But what we're going to do, this is one photo. We need some more to complement this photo if we're going to hang them together. All right, I'm really happy with that one. Let's go and find somewhere else to take one, and we'll get a series of photos. If you didn't know this one, this is a ST23, this is a Ulanzi phone holder. It's my favorite phone holder, I absolutely love it. It's so easy to use, and it's a Ulanzi tripod as well. All these things will be linked down the bottom if you want to get your own. This is probably the most versatile tripod I've ever had for my phone. It's the duck's nuts. I really enjoy it. Anyway, let's go and have a look at another location. The second location I found is right here. I'm going to use this big rocky outcrop just here, compose the photo exactly the same way. The weather hasn't changed, so I'm going to shoot for 5 minutes as well. Now I've got it set up on top of a fence post over there, doing exactly the same thing, capturing this photo. There's another spot, it's just over here. I've taken quite a few photos here. It's this one big rocky outcrop, and I'll look right up into it, so I'm not going to be distracted by any of the blowing trees and things like that. When you think about the photos that we've taken, this is how I teach people how to tell stories with photos. Start big, get a bit smaller, and get a bit smaller again. So the first photo is the entire rocky outcrop. The second photo, it's a different rocky outcrop, but it's part of the same set of rocks, I guess. This is like behind me and up over here. And the first photo I took was on the other side of where we just took that one. But it starts big, get a little bit smaller. That second photo. This photo here is going to be of just one rock with that sky doing the same thing. So the pattern of the photos, or the theme of the photos, is a high contrast, very dramatic sort of an edit in black and white. Just had to stop because I reckon that was a snake. And the third photo will be the same. We'll get smaller and smaller and smaller, same theme all the way through. You'll see what I mean in just a second. I think that's gone. So with this photo here, I want to get as low as I possibly can and shoot up so that the sun is directly behind the rock face, so the sun's not overpowering the photo. So we'll set this up. Now, because we're set down so low and I really don't want to get in the ground, I'll just use my watch, my Apple Watch, to compose that photo with. And that looks pretty good right there. All the settings are exactly the same. Hit the go button and we're taking the photo. Now we wait 5 minutes. That photo's done. We now have a set. 3 photos at 3 locations, same locations, 3 different photos. And let's make a set, let's go and edit them. That's those 3 photos done. Let's have a look at how we can edit these. One of the best things about being a mobile photographer is that everything's on your phone. So what we're going to do is we'll use Adobe Lightroom. Doesn't matter what editing program you're going to use, but the principles are the same here. So we'll open up, where will we open up? We'll open up the first one, the very first photo that we took. Where is it? There it is. And what we're going to do with this is use one of the profiles with Lightroom, and we'll go into the profiles and we'll go to the black and white one. We'll go black and white landscape, we'll see how that looks. It's not too bad. The good thing about this is it's got a few of those profiles there, and we can try, oh, the punch one actually doesn't look too bad. The flat one, not good. Selenium might work, it doesn't though. So we'll try the punch. I like that punch one. So we'll apply that one and we'll go to the light, and I want to reduce the highlights a little bit because what's happening in the sky there is just a bit too much. We'll probably use some dehazing here as well shortly. Yeah, we'll leave that right where it is. So we'll go across to the effects tab and we'll increase the clarity a lot, and we'll increase the dehazing a lot. I like how the sky looks there. So what I'm going to do is go back to the light and I'm going to increase the blacks because there's just not enough detail there in the rocks. Like the sky hasn't changed a great deal there. Quite like that. Just zoom into the rocks. Yeah, I do like that. Bring the shadows, I think, a little. That's better. I really like how that looks. We'll add a vignette. Might be a little bit too much, we'll see. Yeah, that'll add too much drama. Too much vignette will add too much drama. Let's add a little bit. Maybe 8. 8 looks good to me. Go to the detail, I'm going to sharpen this a little. Just zoom into the rocks there. That looks really quite good. So I'm just going to export that one with the arrow at the top. Now I will see, I'll open up another one. Where are we? Go with this one. This is, I already had a bit of a play with this one, but what I'll do, I'll go back to the first one that I did. Where is he? There he is there. and I'll copy those settings, all of those tools, yep, all that, hit the tick. I'm going to go across to the other photo now and reset that because I was having a bit of a play with it, to import. Now I'll paste those settings. So the same settings are across both photos now, and I'm just going to fine tune this photo now to sort of complement it because the lighting was a little bit different. You can see there the rocks are a bit more blown out. So I'll go to the effects, decrease the clarity a little bit, go to the light, go to highlights, drop it down a little bit, and drop the whites down a little bit, quite a bit actually. I like that. I think that looks pretty bloody good. So we'll go to the last photo that we just took now. I'm not sure why there's so many of those, but we'll go, well, that's because it saved it incrementally, that's what I did. Now I'm going to paste those settings as well. That doesn't look too bad. In fact, I'm quite happy with that. I'm going to leave it exactly like it is. So there's 3 photos done. I'll export that as well. Save that to the camera roll. 3 photos done. That took me a couple of minutes with Adobe Lightroom with all those settings, copying and pasting to those 3. We've got a series now and they look like this. That is a pretty bloody good setup. Long exposure photos, making artwork from your iPhone. It's a pretty good time that we're living in. All right guys, that's it for today. I'll catch you next week. See you later.